Hello and welcome. Wow, actually works. I was worried about my microphone, but I guess I'm here. 2019. So, beginning of another wonderful year. And yeah, and in Japan it's going to be extra weird because the emperor is abdicating and they're going to change the era. And so we're going to find out what that is, I think, this spring. So, there's be two new dates to remember. And I don't even know 30 something. It's Heisei 31 or something now. I can't even remember, but that won't be the case anymore. So yeah, we'll find out what happens there. And as a lot of people said, everything terrible happened in Heisei because it includes the gas attacks on the subway and the Fukushima disaster and a lot of horrible earthquakes, Kobe, and all kinds of good stuff. So people aren't going to miss Heisei, I believe. But we're back for a new year and hopefully back on our regular weekly schedule. And that is thanks to patrons like you. So thank you for the support that keeps everything going. And I'll kind of go over that again at the end. But yeah, if you'd like to see more of this and keep this on a regular schedule, Patreon is the best way to do that. So patreon.com/abusecartoons. So thank you to the new patrons, and I will be attentive and as regular as I can be. And yeah, we'll keep at this. So more live drawing. So if you're following this, I took a few months off, I guess starting the beginning of October. That was the last live stream for a while. And I don't think necessarily it helped the quality of the cartoons because I paid even less attention. Yeah, so it's a little rough as far as deciding. So once I got myself into this hole of talking and drawing, then just drawing seemed like a waste. But yeah, we're back to it, back at it, and it's a yeah, it's a new year, so let's let's keep after it. So yeah, so I have January 1st is the next thing that needs to happen here. So yeah, so it's the New Year's holiday here in Japan, and that does not mean what it used to. And I think I was talking a bit about that last week. But people are kind of doing less and less. The tradition, or one of the traditions, is to send postcards to all your friends and family and business associates and everything. And that is slowly being reduced to an email and now just like a stamp on a, Line or Messenger or some chat program or probably even Twitter at this point. So people are giving up on the hard work of keeping in touch with people, and because it used to be once upon a time that, and I think the reason that it's postcards is because people would draw or write on the front of these cards for every person they were sending to, so you'd have an original brush work drawing or just some kanji or something for people. And so if you have hundreds of people that you're sending to, that's quite a bit of work at the end of the year. So people start in December and just kind of work their way through it. And now, everyone's too busy for everything now except to, send on Twitter or whatever. But yeah, so it's a strange thing, and it's kind of dying. And with the advent of digital, people just print. They buy like a template and print their cards on an inkjet printer because the post office sends prepaid or postage paid postcards you can buy, and they're inkjet ready, or you can actually draw on some of them. And so then a lot of companies started having these giant catalogs of designs, so you could be somewhat unique in the cards you sent, so you're not going to see all of the same cards. So kind of thousands of designs come out every year, and people just pick from a CD or probably a website now catalog of those, and it's all based on there's kanji for the Chinese zodiac animal and then the animal itself. So most of the illustrations revolve around a version of that animal, either something very stylized or, of course, very cute. And yeah, so there's a lot of that going on. But it used to be, I actually saw, I'm forgetting completely what this technology was, but pre-digital, the first step to make your postcards, your Nengajo, the New Year's postcards, easier to kind of mass produce. What was it? It was something that was either photosensitive, like photosensitive ink, or something where you're, I totally forget now. But that's something maybe I should bring, if I can find one of those to bring on the cast and kind of show that old technology. But it was just kind of like a silk screen, almost like a odd, cheap silk screen system to make postcards. So you did a simple line art, and then you just reproduced it on the cards. I'm totally forgetting what that was, but I was pretty impressed because that had been around maybe since the 80s, and people were doing it that way before you could afford a home inkjet printer and digitally design the cards. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up again. But yeah, that just occurred to me. That was the kind of first step into being a little lazier and kind of mass producing your cards. And I'm sure you could pay printing companies to produce nice quality cards prior to the digital. Just do like some short run offset printing, or maybe just they had a few designs that they would print. But yeah, that was a thing, and I'll get more into that, or get you more about that, because I thought that was very interesting. It was very low tech, so very interesting low tech solution, kind of almost like kid's toy, the device itself, but it was like something you could use to quickly reproduce a drawing for your cards. So anyhow, so people are not sending cards anymore. They're not cooking the traditional food, which is, I know it's a mixed thing, because the idea was you would kind of pre-cook all of this food, which is osechi, which is cold, mostly cold, various types of Japanese food, and that way you could store it very easily. You wouldn't have to reheat anything, and you would be able to eat that for 3 days, kind of like how you deal with a Thanksgiving turkey or Christmas dinner leftovers. And so people would traditionally make a lot of that and just like eat it for 3 days, because basically nothing was open and there was nothing to do but visit relatives. So maybe the trains were crowded, but the shops were closed. But now that's really, really changed. People have to work on January 1st. The convenience stores are open. I mean, there's so many things that are open. I saw the little Belgian waffle stand in the train station. 2 people had to work on Christmas Day there. I mean, it's crazy. So it used to be that the country just felt like it was shut down. The only thing that was running was, public transportation on a very limited holiday schedule. But now that's not even the case. I mean, you can probably, I know today you can definitely go shopping. Just the smaller, like, independent shops are closed, but all of the department stores are open, ready for business, and they're already giving you those New Year's sales to try to encourage people. But that's a thing. So it's changed a lot. That used to be nice, just kind of a lazy, kind of a forced holiday for the entire country, and now slowly people are, being asked to work, and it's getting less special. I think the only thing that still happens is, so instead of Christmas, I mean, they do get Christmas presents, but maybe only one Christmas present. And instead of Christmas presents, the kids get money from whoever the kind of the head of the household is, the grandparents or the parents or whoever is kind of in control of the money. And I guess all the relatives are supposed to give you. So if you have aunts and uncles and things, that's part of the motivation for kids to visit during the holidays, is to get their little envelope of money. And so that causes kind of the shopping blitz at the beginning of the year, because as soon as the stores are open, people are lined up to buy what they've wanted to buy all year with their New Year's money. Yeah, so you see kind of a rush on the bank. There's crazy lines at the ATMs and things, because people are getting giant envelopes of money to then divide up, amongst all of their nieces and nephews and grandchildren and all that. So, yeah, a lot of that stuff is just kind of falling away, and people are doing less and less. I'm sure there's more electronic transfers now. But I did notice, though, on the train when we were coming into the city on New Year's Day, that it's a grislier group of people. I think it's people that don't have great family relationships. They only see their family once a year, and it's for this holiday, and it's with their hands out, ready to receive their New Year's money, because it's a grisly crowd. It's people you don't normally see out and dragging all of their overfed children, and it's pretty grisly. So a little bit different than what I'm used to on the trains with all the commuters and exhausted salarymen. But so that's a strange kind of trending downward into doing almost nothing for the holidays. And people are getting less and less interested in participating in kind of holiday traditions and things, because I don't know, I think it's probably just a combination. It's a laziness, or it's just an exhaustion, because people are working ridiculously because everyone is on some sort of digital clock, so their productivity is measured by a computer, and you can't get away with slacking off the way you used to, because people know exactly how many minutes you had that file open and all that good stuff. But so a little bit of laziness due to exhaustion, but also I think the kind of selfishness, the narcissism, and people needing something that doesn't give you kind of social credit, or makes you look particularly good, or has some sort of boasting, or some component that will create envy, isn't very useful for people anymore. And that hard work, like writing a bunch of holiday messages to people and sending that out, those people aren't going to post that on Instagram. What's the point of doing that? I'm not going to get likes. I'm not going to get, it's a one-to-one physical interaction, and people are pretty much done with that, unless it's, something that you can kind of do out loud, and that gets a SNS, or social media, gets a social media response. People just stop doing it. And so I heard that actually as a reason why people are getting married less, because people used to get married, not for love, but to be envied. You would, wow, you're so lucky. And now people don't even do that anymore. They're just getting, they're just doing things that have some, that create a currency, that create that social media currency that gives them some presence and gets them that, that feedback that they need so desperately from the response from people. So that's it's very sad to think that this stuff is just slowly going away, and basically the only thing that's going to be left is taking pictures of your food at restaurants and yourself on vacation, and that's it. And what else is worth doing? Nothing, because it doesn't generate any envy. It doesn't generate any presence on social media. So you with pictures of celebrities, pictures of your expensive meals, and maybe new purchases and vacation, and that's it. Basically there's nothing else, unless you live someplace exotic or travel a lot for business exotically, then you can show that off. But yeah, it's very, very strange. So we're going to lose a lot, and it's going to be replaced by nothing. There seems to be so much of that. Grr. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I gotta figure out exactly what I'm doing. I don't need this live stream to become Old Man Complains About the World. I think it should be more constructive. Anyhow, yeah, so that's New Year's in Japan. And and you go to the shrine and pray, first, the kind of first prayer of the year, and get a lot of times get the fortune paper, kind of random paper about how your health and wealth and all that good stuff is going to be in the coming year. But yeah, that's all kind of disappearing, all kind of slowing down. People aren't doing that as much, and slowly it will all just go away. So yeah, that's too bad. But I'm here live streaming. This is great. All right, I have no idea. I'm just kind of drawing things, trying to get warmed up. I have no idea what I wanted to do with this. Let's see. Don't want to play with my hair either. So yeah, think about the New Year's, and actually this is a January 1st cartoon. So what is it doing? Wow, let's see. I don't think I can even remember what this looks like. A fortune cookie, or kind of like that. Yeah, it's funny being in Asia and trying to explain to people what fortune cookies are, because unless they've had some terrible American Chinese, they've never seen such a thing. They do have kind of the soda cookies. They do have a flat disc version that tastes very similar to a fortune cookie here. And I guess the American idea was to take that, put a piece of paper in it, and fold it up into a weird shape. But you can have that same similar kind of dessert. The tansang biscuits or cookies here are very similar in taste to the fortune cookie. That same amazing formula. Oh boy. So yeah, New Year's. Oh yeah, I've got to get back into the rhythm of being able to I'm always doing calendars. Beginning of the year, it's always calendars and funny glasses with the year on them, because as soon as we had 2000 something, the double zeros in the aughts made for funny glasses that everyone could wear on New Year's. Yeah, something like that. So I'll have to try to think of something different. Empty. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. So we're gonna have to start. I'm sure campaigning is gonna start towards the end of this year in the U.S. because we've got more good president stuff, and then next year in Japan is the Tokyo Olympics, so everything's gearing up for that. There's all kinds of construction going on here to prepare the city to be ravaged by the visitors. So yeah, and I think in April, so most things go into effect in the spring, like end of March, early April in Japan. That's kind of this time of renewal, and so graduation and new jobs and all that stuff kind of happens in spring, and that makes it kind of an odd schedule for a lot of people. But yeah, that happens in springtime. So we'll have some new laws. I think their new visa program for temporary workers and things start in Japan. So that's gonna make things all kinds of fun. So yeah, Japan is just kind of desperately foundering. I don't know, just kind of flailing around trying to find a solution to their silvering problem, and nobody to take care of the elderly, and nobody to work jobs, and the younger generation not getting married and not reproducing. And so the solution is temporary workers. So they're starting that. I believe next year, I mean this year is spring. The next whatever financial year. I don't know, the next time laws change in Japan, which is usually in the spring. So yeah, I don't want to do any Japanese New Year jokes. Oh boy. Yeah, so what am I doing here? Yeah, so I'm going to have to work hard to get back into the rhythm of talking and drawing, because I was drawing silently. And actually, I wasn't that much faster when I wasn't talking. Still kind of, coming up with ideas and getting them to work takes about the same amount of time. So the talking doesn't interfere with the actual work itself. But, sorry, sniffing in the microphone. But, yeah, it's just kind of weirdly distracting, because it's hard to do both at the same time, kind of rubbing your head and patting your stomach kind of thing. It's hard to keep going with kind of a... So I'm going to say, so you'll notice I'm often talking or drawing. So I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of doing that. But yeah, so hopefully things will be picking up in all sorts of projects this year. I'm hoping that this ends up being a good year as far as productivity and things, because there's so many projects and things that I've kind of let go and haven't given much attention to. So hopefully I can get onto a nicer, production schedule and keep things going at a heavier pace. I've been doing a lot for the other podcasts, the Idle Red Hands podcast. I've been doing a lot of editing and trying to get things out. And so the beginning of this year is going to be all unboxings. We recorded a bunch of unboxings of different role-playing games and board games and things. So there'll be lots of that going on, and we'll see if that helps kind of build things up. We're doing okay on the YouTube channel at least, and keep the podcast coming out regularly. I would love it to be weekly, but unless we record it in bulk, it's really hard to get stuff edited in time, because it's so rare that we can kind of all get together and record. Schedule thing is such a problem, and you can't change that unless you're making enough money for people to kind of quit their day jobs doing that. And if you never do that, then you never have enough time. And yeah, it's a real cart before the horse kind of thing, where you can't get anything going. You really have to neglect things to actually have enough time to get that kind of stuff going. And a lot of people just aren't willing to do that. Don't want to destroy their marriages or their jobs, their day jobs, to actually do that. Oh, sorry. So I watched Aquaman last night. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think it's a whoa. It's just about exactly what it needed to be, no more, no less. And I think it's funny how people are, over analyzing and being overcritical of everything. Well, I mean, because it's all related, just because that gives them, an audience and a personality, a brand online. If they're the angry guy that hates all these movies or hates this or hates that, then they that can be their brand, and they can kind of keep hammering on that and repeating that to the people that want to listen. But yeah, it's all this like weird social media credit that everyone is that's a weird looking book that everybody's kind of vying for. So nobody's honest. It's like everybody is you know, playing this bizarre media character now. You're either acting like a politician, or you're acting like a radio or TV personality to try to get likes and endorphins from, you know, clicks and retweets and whatever, favorites or whatever. So it's a weird thing. It's a really weird thing. Nobody is very honest, and everyone's got some really lame agenda, just really weak. As soon as they figure out what their brand is, they've got they're always, you know, angling towards that. It's really, I mean, people are much more inconsistent and much more changeable, and I just don't like this. You know, we need the stability of somebody that's constantly hating this or constantly complaining about this in my life. That'll make me feel more stable. I don't know. Oh, gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. None of this is helping. I think something random maybe may work best. Because I'm having trouble getting anything to look exciting to me. Nothing was kind of clicking. But I'm probably going to screw this up, so. Yeah, that's not very good. Yeah, so. Okay, so maybe just this can be fixed and we'll have something workable. Okay. I love the idiocy of digital art where you just draw the same line again, and I make the same mistake every single time. I don't know. Doesn't have a nice enough curve up here, but now I'm gonna screw that up because that was as close as I was gonna get to feeling around. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, this is not going well. I guess that's a little bit better. And we'll kind of shift this around. See if I can get a more balanced shape here. It's kind of funky. So it's a little more cheesy. All right, there we go. Not great, but it reads. Yeah, this should be one of my favorite things about this cartoon is, you know, drawing the way I was actually able to get away with drawing somewhat convincing or somewhat readable objects. And now I just, I really lost that ability. Or just feels like I'm just not getting so much enjoyment out of, oh yeah, and the handle goes this way. And because a lot of it, I think I talked very early on about how I like to do, or I think the drawings that I enjoy or are more successful are ones that are just kind of from memory. I'm not like doing photo reference, so it's like a weird, it's a very strange kind of memory version of certain objects and things, and I think there's something funny in there. The mistakes or my misremembering. If there's something that I like about that, but recently. Wait, let me do this first. Yeah, so that was a funny thing, and especially with the colors of packaging and stuff. That was where I did it the most. But, and that's also what changed a lot after coming to Japan. Hey, after coming to Japan, a lot of the things that I drew started to become more of the objects, you know, kind of everyday objects around me, so kind of harder to relate to. But I guess the cartoon is, you know, kind of always been like that. For anybody not from America or from North America. All right, well, I think I'm going to go with something that looks a little bit like that, and this is going to be my random cheese joke for the new year. Because random cheese joke. Oh, I got to find a nice yellowy cheddar look. But then I think I want the outside to be a little bit, the wheel part, or the kind of top part to be a little bit lighter. Or darker, I mean. So maybe red. Wow, what happened there? Yeah, something like that. Oof. What's going on? Maybe lessen that a little bit. There we go. Oh, this is the part. Yeah, that's the part. And then I'll do the shadow on top of that. Actually, no, that just looks like a shadow. It just looks like plus black. So I want to just warm it up a little bit, I think. Something more like that. There we go. Yeah, because then it doesn't look just like a shadow. Oh, okay. And then some shadows. Okay. Oh. D. Oh, wait, I've got all that turned off. All the layers and contiguous. I was masking things, I think. There we go. A little bit of the white highlight. Yeah, that catches pretty well. Oops. Highlighting. Maybe I'll actually do some full white on that. Okay, and let me write this while I'm still thinking of it. I know I usually write it later, but he was hoping it would be a good year for cheese. And maybe for selfish reasons. Self-serving. Yeah, self-serving way, something like that. Okay, but at least I've got that down so I don't blank on that. Because I may have a total lapse of, especially once we do the convenience store section, I might be hospitalized. I don't know. All right, maybe here. No, that doesn't look good at all. What's going on here? Okay, a little bit of that. Just to keep it looking cheesy. All right. Ooh, beautiful. Damn. What layer is that on? Here? Yes. Okay. Oof. There we go. Oh. Okay. A little more like that, maybe. I can't see so much behind, but there we go. Something like that. I don't know if that's actually reading. If that's actually reading how I want it to, but oh well. It'll just be one of those random things. It's so badly drawn. Okay, well, moving ahead. Oh my god. All right, so what are we doing for tomorrow? Oh, that's gruesome. Even reduced down, it looks horrible. Oh well. Wow, okay, well the year's off to a bumpy start. Yeah, this is not easy. Oh, and I'm also not even looking at what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm streaming at a really funky time for North America, so I apologize because it's yeah, it's everyone is well asleep or not around. But yeah, this was the earliest I could kind of get here, especially on this day after all that celebrating. Okay. Whew. Okay, so let's pick it up here. Let's come up with something better than cheese. Okay, well, a quick look. Let me see what I discarded here. Put some of this over here just to see. Okay. Little boxes of things. Wow. I don't know what that was. Okay. I think these little guys, there's something that I like about this. Always doing that. Okay. Up here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What layer? He should be doing better than that. What's going on? There we go. Okay. I still want to put some kind of lines on here so you can get the joke. Actually, should it be like maybe that? No, 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 no. That looks terrible. Okay. Guess I'm gonna have to make it more obvious that this matches that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, actually, I should imitate that shape a little bit better. All right, so the joke is like, you know, coming from a box of what? How many would fit in there? 12? Yes, so something about, you know, it was not very unique, a unique life experience to be coming from a box of 12 because everybody was, every one of these was from the same situation. All right. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so what are these things? Yikes. Let's fill the space a little bit more. Okay. All right. So something kind of bright-ish. Yeah, that works. Then the cardboard part. Okay. And then something kind of... Oops, I'm already choosing that, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that's working. Okay, maybe one of those kind of information panels over here. Maybe it's nutrition. Maybe it's safety. Okay. And I guess this can be continued on the top as well. Or not if I don't close the lines. There we go. Something like that. And then I guess maybe this. Yeah, it seems like something I want on another layer though, doesn't it? Well, it might work. It's like it's not gonna print very well though, is it? Let's see. I think I want all of that off of there on another layer. Wait a minute. This is the sloppiest way to do this, but I think it'll work okay. Oh, I didn't get this? Damn. Okay, then we'll merge these. Yeah, sorry, this is kind of ugly style, but okay, and then I want all this to be blue again. And this way I can just kind of fade it so it looks a little bit more like it's printed on the package, because I think it was standing out. It's standing out pretty bright. So this way I can just bring the opacity down a little bit, and then it's more, well, not that one. This one, that's more printed on the package. Yeah, that helps a little bit. So that would mean I maybe want this as well. Oof. Okay. There we go. So it looks a little more printed. Oh, and I can also do the, to make sure that boxes look very similar, do the little white information again. Ugh. What did I just do there? There we go. Okay, wow. There we go. $70, a little lower. Yeah, there we go. Huh. Yeah, and then maybe I should do a, let's see how well I can freehand it. Yeah. I think that'll work. Yeah, so something like that. And then let's try some of the shadows on there. So get back to this. So a box of 12. So your super interesting, unique childhood, or upbringing, or whatever, is actually not that interesting. Boom. Yeah, I think that works. Try to make this cutout stand out a bit more. Okay. There we go. Okay, maybe this guy too. There we go. And then put the little labels back on there. There we go. Yeah, okay. Well, this is better than cheese. And what isn't at this point? Uh-oh. Better save this. It's looking kind of dodgy. My computer's getting hung up on stuff in a crazy way here. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's try. Not that. Let's try this. Yeah, that helps a lot too. This is looking pretty sparse. All right, I think I want to kind of shift everybody this way. Even the eyes, no. There we go. There we go. And this. Okay, I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. I apologize for doing that. I usually try to write it more spontaneously, but it's kind of in my head. He realized that being, oops, from a box of 12 was not so unique. There's a better one there. From a box of 12. Boom. Okay, I just wanted to remember that. Okay. Oof, so that is that. Oh, boy. So I did a little bit of the writing in advance, but we'll take a break anyhow before the finalizing. I think they need to be rewritten. I just wanted to get the ideas down. Before some of the this is going to be gross. Okay, before some of the worries slip away, but or the wording. Okay, so I don't know why I'm doing this. This is just punishment, and I don't even know exactly what I'm dealing with at this point. And let me give a quick search to this because it's so ugly and weird that I should probably let you know. Oh, it's one of those giant companies. Great. Oh, so maybe that's what the brand is. Oh, gross. Okay. Anyhow, I've kept you... Oh, gross. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. All right. So this is something pretty disgusting. So we'll give this a try. And so I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know where this came from, and now I know, and I'm even more afraid. Anyhow, let's try the convenience store segment. There we are. Okay. So you've entered the Family Mart. That's what that little chime is. Oof. Okay, today there's this horrible horrible group of like fitness clubs, I guess, in Japan, and they're starting to export, or they're starting to go into producing low calorie snacks. So Japan, the convenience stores they have a lot of junk food and a lot of pretty high quality cakes and cookies and breads and things. They're kind of competing with like bakeries and grocery store bread shops and things. But Rizap, see that lovely name, Rizap, is I guess a group of fitness gyms. There's a lot of complaints about them, but they're doing low carb, low calorie food. Ugh. Yeah. So this is meant to be exercise. I initially thought that it was kind of my first guess was that this was for diabetics or people that had to watch their sugar intake, because things are not very sweet in Japan. Some of the kids' snacks and things are, but this is low sugar, low calorie chocolate cake. Ugh. And I guess it's affiliated with with a chain of shops. So usually these little pieces of chocolate cake are pretty crazy. Oh, and this is actually done by Family Mart themselves. Oh, already it smells pretty gross. Oh boy. Yeah, so Japan has a really terrible, they do a real bad job of labeling things. And they do a lot of blending of artificial sweeteners and sugars. Like they'll lower calories of something. There'll still be sugar in it, but they'll lower the calories by, 30-40%, which is not that big a deal. And so there's still sugar in it, and then they'll put aspartame or stevia or something on top of that. And it's just disgusting. They do that a lot with canned coffee, and especially when it's hot canned coffee, that's just the worst. So I guess for older people to be able to drink a little bit sweetened coffee. So this is supposedly 40% off calories and sugar and everything. So here we go. So I've had a lot of lovely pieces of chocolate cake in Japan, and this doesn't, it looks disgusting. This looks like something you'd clean your bathroom with. Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's got a weird, it's got a weird chemical aftertaste. Oh, that's horrible. Why not just eat less chocolate cake? Oh, yeah. It doesn't taste like chocolate. Very strange. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, so that was just one example of low sugar. That's really strange because I can't tell what's replacing whatever they've taken out. I can't tell what they've replaced it with. It's just very mysterious. But there's a weird chemical taste and it's kind of gritty. Ugh. Anyhow, I did that for you. Yeah, so be careful when you're in the convenience store because the package itself, it looks like any other piece of chocolate cake or snack, but it's this weird reduced carb, reduced calorie version, and it's right in there with the rest of them. So be aware that Japan is very stealth about taking the sugar out of your snacks and your drinks and things and replacing it with who knows what. I guess I should look at the ingredients. It did say cocoa in there, but there's probably going to be some kanji that I don't know yet. Yeah. There's some weird gums, and I don't even know what that is. Yeah, there's some weird kind of chemical names in there for things that they've replaced it with. So you're just eating something that's simulating chocolate cake with a lot of chemicals in it just to knock out some of the carbs. I mean, not even all, just some of the carbs and some of the sugar. And it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. So be aware for diet snack foods, and I guess there's plenty of that in North America, but it's marked very obviously, and it's not so stealth. Your low-fat Oreos and whatever else they put in there, but that's truly horrible. So don't get surprised. So watch out for the Rizap, the Rizap brand. I think those are only in Family Mart, the chain, but I guess it's a struggling chain of gyms that now is doing that. Japanese convenience stores tap into health boom. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, so yeah, for the aging society that they offer leaner foods and different nutritional situations. So yeah, we're all going to be the silver ring in Japan is going to lead us all to this nightmare of we're all going to be eating diabetic foods for elderly people. I can't wait to be elderly so I can have some medical reason to be eating this stuff. Ugh, it's disgusting. But anyhow, yeah, there's diet food now in Japan, and a lot of traditional Japanese food is not very high calories. So yeah, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. So anyhow, beware of the diet, the sugar removed sweets that are going to be catering to older people, especially if they have the logo of a gym on them, or the name of a company that is just sponsoring gyms. Ugh. Yeah, that's terrible. But yeah, they're more concerned about their health than the younger generation, so they're looking for diet foods in the convenience stores. This is horrible, truly horrible. And they don't mark things very well at all, so you're not quite exactly sure what it is and what it's been replaced with, and you just buy it and eat it. Ugh. Okay, anyhow, so that's diet food, diet sweets. a cake. It's a piece of chocolate cake that has had something removed. Something has been replaced, and it's pretty horrible. So I guess we'll get these cartoons written and finish up. So enough of that. So back to the drawing. Okay. So that's going straight into the trash. But I thought it would be worth talking about, because it's very interesting. I mean, Japan is kind of the avant-garde of graying societies, because they've got a good kind of social system in place, good pensions and good medical system and everything. So unlike countries that have much less infrastructure, like a lot of Asian countries have a lot of graying older people, but they just don't support them in the same way. So you can't take a look at, what is happening. And it's like, kind of just the economic level that Japan is going to be probably one of the richest countries dealing with this the hardest. And so the rest of the world can kind of take notes and see what mistakes they make. But, diet chocolate cake. That doesn't even make any sense. And it's very stealthy. It's very stealthed in there. Okay. Here we go. So here we go with the so he realized that being from a box of 12 was not that unique. So that was the idea, is that he's just thought he was a blogger with a very original story, but everybody in his life was from a box of 12. So is there a sharper way to write that? Actually, let me do a little bit of highlighting to kind of, get this to work a little bit better. Make his package a little shinier. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Yeah, so the joke being that what are we doing here? Ouch. That he realized being from a box of 12 was not that unique. Yeah. I don't know if I can tighten that up very much. I don't know, just the realization thing is kind of flat. Oh, okay. So he hoped it would be a good year for cheese. Self-serving. I kind of wanted to put something in there about it is, selfishly. Yeah, maybe selfishly. Yeah. Very selfishly. Very selfishly. He hoped it would be a good year for cheese. Yes, cheese. Cheese joke. Oh, it's the ugliest drawing. Very selfishly, he hoped it would be a good year for cheese. Okay, I like the selfish thing. I was trying to put self-serving in there, but that doesn't work. Very selfishly, he hoped it would be a good year for cheese. Okay, and then let's take a look. He realized that being from a box of 12 was not that unique. I guess that's okay. Darn. Yeah, that's the problem, though. Sometimes when I kind of just write my thoughts down, or what I want to kind of remember from that idea, sometimes I can't get beyond just that real plain, real not that funny note that I made, the kind of, first out of your head idea. Sorry about that. Sniffling at the microphone. Okay. So he realized that being from a box of 12 was not that unique. realized he was frustrated. It angered him. He felt, yeah, kind of ripped off or short-cutted. What is it? He was, yeah, I don't like realize. I think I do a lot of realized in the cartoons. He was astonished. Was frustrated that being from a box of 12 was not that unique. Only now did he realize. See, as I'm fussing with stuff, I will just keep drawing and drawing. Something like that, maybe. Okay. Okay, something like that. He realized that being from a box of 12 was not that unique. Yeah, I'm not going to get any closer. Oh, but I could change the year on my cartoons. Little annotation there. Wow. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Boom. Boom. What's going on? 2010. Boom. Okay. Okay. Very selfishly, he hoped it would be a good year for cheese. Oh, maybe. Very selfishly, he hoped the new year would be all about cheese. Sorry. Would be all about cheese. Very selfishly, he hoped the new year would be all about cheese. Okay, that's stupider. I've made myself laugh, so it must be on the stupid meter. Very selfishly, he hoped the new year would be all about cheese. Realized that being from a box of 12 was not that unique. Realized he surrendered, he gave up, he acknowledged, he... what's the... he had to admit, he had to understand, he had to... darn. He had to admit. He had to admit. He had to admit. Being from a box of 12. Being from a box of 12 would not be his only... yeah. Let's see. Being from a box of 12 would not shape him, would not defeat him, would not... Okay. Being from a box of 12 would not make he wouldn't let being from a box of 12 make him feel any less. Now it's long and unwieldy. He wouldn't let being from a box of 12 make him feel any less unique. Well, that's a little bit happier, man. Not funny, but a little bit happier idea. Yeah, because I was just thinking about upbringing and your experience and how many people have that exact same experience. And so I'm trying to, this is a little bit different now. He wouldn't let being from a box of 12 make him feel any less unique. He wouldn't let being from a box of 12 make him feel any less. Sure. I think that works the best. He wouldn't let being from a box of 12 make him feel any less unique. Okay, there we go. And very selfishly, he hoped the new year was all about cheese. Okay. That's just random and poorly drawn, but it's cheese. Ooh, cheese new year. A new year of cheese. Okay, well, it has happened. I have gotten back on schedule. Let me see here. Whoa. And yeah, back on the weekly drawing schedule. So that could, I would like, to grow that as much as possible, and would, yeah, definitely like this to be a daily thing. Again, I think I really enjoyed, when I enjoyed this strip the most, it was it's not even a strip, this cartoon the most, it was when I was doing it daily. So if I can come up with a day a week to push this, and then it'll be a very long stream as well, because doing a week's worth of cartoons is a very long stream. So I'll be taking a lot of coffee breaks during that. But yeah, so okay, we're back for the new year, and we have our first 2 entries. So thank you very much for joining me, and a special thanks to the new patrons at the Patreon. You're keeping things going, and this is a really inspirational and motivational. So thank you so much for that. And if you would like to join and help support things and keep things moving forward, please visit abusecartoons or abusecartoons.com or patreon.com/abusecartoons. And you can follow this strip on Twitter as well. And there is also a Facebook page, and there should be something else. No Instagram yet, but there should be, shouldn't there? I don't know what the best venue would be. I guess Instagram would be a nice place to find this as well. But you can also see, subscribe as well to thousands of cartoons on gocomics.com. So gocomics.com/domesticabuse is where you can find the syndicated version of this cartoon that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. And you can get it straight to your inbox with a bunch of other amazing cartoons. And yeah, so take a look there. And yeah, thank you very much again. And I will see you next week. Happy New Year. Goodbye.